Hi, everyone. Sorry I'm a minute late this Friday lunchtime. How are you? I hope you're all well. Welcome to this TEFL Org webinar. My name is Carl. I am the tutor here in Belfast. So I do the Belfast weekend courses. If you're looking to become a teacher in Northern Ireland and you want to do a practical course, you will see me for a weekend. And I do these Friday webinars, and we have lots of different topics that we have on these webinars over the last few weeks, mainly about online teaching. So today we're broadening it out, and I don't know what I'm letting myself in for, but it's basically a live Q&A session. So if you have any questions at all, put them in the chat about TEFL, classroom teaching, online teaching, setting up your own business, where to go in this beautiful world of ours, anything at all, please put them in the chat. And please say hello to me. Please say where you are in the world in the Facebook chat side of things, and where you are in your TEFL career, TEFL, I don't like this word, journey. Are you newly qualified? Are you looking to qualify? Are you doing the course at the moment? Are you looking to set yourself up online? Are you looking to travel a big chunk of the world? Please let me know. The good thing is we already have some questions coming in, which I'm going to start with in a minute. But please, any questions at all about TEFL, please put them in the chat. If you don't know me, a little bit about myself. As I said, I live in Northern Ireland and I run the weekend Belfast courses here. But I also have done the courses in Sligo in Ireland and in Galway in Ireland for TEFL Org. So I do teacher training across the island of Ireland. And I also work as a teacher. Currently, my current job is working as a teacher at a British university, which is all online teaching at the moment. But in the past, I have lived and worked in South Africa, in Sri Lanka, in Japan, in China, Kazakhstan, Azerbaijan, Iraq. These are the places that I've lived and taught in. Traveled big chunks of the world as well, and I've also taught in the UK. And before lockdown, I did a lot of work in Italy and Spain as well. That's not on the cards at the moment, but I can see some hellos coming in. Thank you, John. Thank you, Andre. Thank you very much. Hello, Susie. Any questions at all, please keep them coming in. So let's start with Andre, because I can see you're there at the moment. I also have some questions ready from someone from Susie, and yep, so some Susie, and there was some more from before which I think I've lost. Oh yes, Leah, Muktesh, Huzi, Richard, James, Steve. Right, let's get going with some of these questions. Okay, hello, Andre. Andre Kwan Lapli, I love your name. Do you offer an online course in business English tuition and an online course for online English tuition? What are the full course fees if you offer them? If there's a discount, I do not have time to embark on them. I will likely pay the full price. You want to pay full price for something, Andre? You don't want to. Okay. Anyway, I love it when people pay full price for my goods. Let's not offer a discount, even if there is a discount. So, Andre, what do we offer? So I think what you're looking for, because you've already got some certifications. I can see you've got a 24-hour and a 36-hour. The magic number that you're looking for is about 120 hours of TEFL. So if you're going to be applying for jobs, Andre, they're going to look for you to have a 120-hour TEFL certificate. So I think having a 24 and a 36 isn't enough. I would look to see if you can boost it up. And we offer lots of modules on the course. We on our website, you can go in and you can do an advanced TEFL course in business English. And we also got some modules in teaching English online. And there's a lovely link there from Alan to help you do that. Get yourself up to about 120 hours total, Andre, because that's what employers look for. Okay, thank you very much. Susie, hello, Susie Dogood, another beautiful name. Hello, I'm currently living in the Midlands. Good. Love that area of the world, love the people. Only signed up this week and started the grammar course. I'd like to know where I can take this. So I'm guessing you've signed up for the whole course and not just the grammar course, Susie. So where can you take this? Right. Basically, I don't know. It depends on you. You've basically got once you've got one of our certifications, our accredited certifications, you've got sort of two options. You can go onto the online world and you can be an online teacher. And that at the moment is probably the safest way to get some work. Because there's still big chunks of this world where they're not really recruiting people from abroad. So definitely online is an option at the moment. And then as the world has started opening itself up, and just in the last couple of weeks, I've seen some jobs advertised in Spain and Italy, for example. Once you've got your 120-hour course certificate, you could go and teach pretty much anywhere in the world, depending on your degree situation, because some countries do want you to have a degree, but not all. There are many countries out there where you can go and teach without a degree. If you've got an EU passport, then definitely you can get yourself going in Spain or in Italy quite well. And you can also get yourself perhaps in some Central American countries. Look around. On our website, the TEFL Org website, there is a blog post about where to teach without a degree. And I think that would really help you if you don't have a degree. But if you do have a degree, the world is your oyster once everything starts to open up. Okay, I can see another question about a degree coming in. So let's go with that. Simran. Hello, Simran. Simran Sudra. Let's do your... Okay. Hi, Carl. I'm based in Germany and doing a 120-hour TEFL course. Do you know anything about working in Germany teaching English? Right. I personally have never taught in Germany, but I do know a couple of people that have been out there. Now, there are language schools in Germany to teach English. Okay. However, the German school system is pretty good at teaching English to German people. So anybody that came through a German high school or German primary school has probably got a good level of English anyway, from my experience. So there are schools in Germany that are starting to cater towards the people who don't speak English, who did not grow up in Germany, basically. Whether that's so basically the immigrants to Germany. So there are language schools in Germany that will offer this. Okay. So it's not the biggest market in the world, Germany, in terms of teaching English. But what I would recommend to you, Simran, is get your CV going, once you've done a 120-hour course, get your certificate printed, get your CV sorted, send that out to local language schools. Google them for the town you're in, the big cities, Berlin, Munich, Dortmund, this kind of thing. You will find there are language schools there, and they will hopefully take you on. Okay. And Simran, you also have another question. Let's quickly do that one. How easy is it to work online without a degree? I'm having a huge... It's possible, Simran. Two ways of doing that to work online without a degree. You can look for recruiters that will take people on without a degree, and there are lots of recruiters out there that will do that. Or you can set yourself up as an online teacher yourself, build yourself a website, get yourself advertising, that kind of thing. Look back. I've done webinars on this the last couple of weeks. Lots of stuff I've said about that. So look back on the Facebook page at the past ones. I don't want to go into too much about setting yourself up without a degree at the moment, but it is definitely possible either through a recruiter or through setting yourself up. Okay, good. I'm jumping around the questions. I've got a good friend, Alan, who is doing the chat at the moment, and I'm sure he's not loving me jumping around the questions. So let's go back up a bit, Alan. I'm going to go to let's see, John Clark has a really long question there. I'm working through the grammar module. My current thoughts is that grammar is always going to be something we are learning about as we go through our TEFL career. I think there are times when you won't have the answers for the students. I think this is fine as long as you find the answers and you get back to students. Would you agree with this? Yes, John. Right. When I first started, my first teaching job was a summer school in Swansea in Wales. And I was fresh off my TEFL course, like a lot of you are. And I had this class of Scandinavian students, and their English was fantastic. And they hit me with all these mad grammar questions. And I tried to answer them as they gave them to me. And it was a total mistake. I would say, right, this is what you do. You've got your one lesson, and that lesson might be, let's say, on the past continuous. You focus on the past continuous for that one lesson. Grammar question comes out of nowhere about the present perfect continuous. You say to them, look, guys, thank you very much for that question, but today we're doing the past continuous. And this is what we're going to talk about. I'll come back to you at a certain point. Or if you look in 10 pages time in the textbook, we're going to deal with that question there. Can you hold it till then? And or you might want to just set a task and then quickly get yourself on Google thinking, what is the answer to that one? Oh, my word, I'm panicking. Focus on the grammar that you're teaching at that time. And then don't worry too much about any left field or right field questions that come in. Okay. So you are totally right. I still don't know all the grammatical terms. I'm pretty bad with conditionals, for example, even though I've been doing this 20 years. Okay. It's going to happen. All right. Good. Okay. Nico, hello. Hello. Nico Miotello. I have 140-hour TEFL, and I also have advanced business, teaching young learners and teaching online, but no degree. Where is the best place to teach on time? Online, sorry, or on time. Probably be on time and online. Right. There are companies out there that will take people on without a degree, especially if you've got some extra modules like you seem to have, or extra experience. I'm not quite sure whether you mean you have experience in teaching young learners and teaching online, or you've done the modules in those. Look online for, look on our job center, and there you can see companies that require you to have a degree and some that do not. Okay, I'm not quite up to date with which ones do and which ones don't. But there are definitely companies online that will take you without a degree, or you can set yourself up as a teacher and see if you can try and get students yourself from around the world, because that doesn't matter if you've got a degree or not. Okay, good. Hopefully that answers your question. Nico, good luck with that. Antonia, hello. Which course would you suggest for online teaching? Just online. Right. The first thing you have to get is you have to get the theory of how to teach a language. And that comes from doing some sort of methodology course, such as our 120-hour course. Okay. So there's not some mad different way of teaching languages online compared to teaching them in a classroom. The methodology stays the same. So you've got to get yourself a methodology course where you know about the grammar and you know about the teaching methods, that kind of thing. Then you can add on some online teaching modules, or something like our online practicum course, where you can then be observed and you can get help with how to take that methodology you have and take it online. So there's not one special course just for teaching online. You still need that basic 120-hour course, and then you add onto it with online modules if that's what you want to do. Okay, hope that answers your question. Antonia, hello, Jack. Is that a question? I'm just reading it. Right, yes, it is. Jack Joseph, hello. Sorry, I'm a little late, and if I missed it, don't worry about that. Okay, is there anything we can do to boost our CVs, as I'm sure schools are always going to pick the applicant with a degree over this one without, not necessarily, Jack. Right, how can you boost your CV if you don't have a degree? Extra modules on top of the 120-hour course is a way of doing it. A second way of doing it is to try and get yourself some experience wherever you are in the world. Jack, what did it say? You're from Bristol. Right, Bristol, great. There will be lots of local schools that would maybe take you on to teach sort of refugees. There'd be charities that were doing free ESOL classes, ESOL classes in Bristol. Get yourself involved with those. Get yourself some experience of teaching, being in the classroom. You probably won't get paid. You might get a little bit, but you probably won't get paid for them. Get yourself 10, 15, 20 hours of teaching that. You'll feel better about yourself. You'll be helping someone. It will boost your CV. That is the sort of thing you can do if you think that you need to boost your CV. However, Jack, what I would say to you is keep applying for paid jobs as well if you're going to go down that way. Okay. Also, the reason being is because you don't know, you could still get a job. I'm not so sure that's, I mean, degree is important, but it's only really sort of an advertising tool for the schools, so they can say, look, our teachers have a degree. That's it. Okay. You know, they would still, you know, if you've got a degree in geography, does it make you a better TEFL teacher? I don't think it does. So I would get yourself some experience. Don't worry too much about it and keep applying. And then the third thing I would do is look for any experience you have of training in your jobs that you do, Jack. So have you ever delivered a training, I don't know, on fire safety in your job? Whack that on your CV. That is a kind of teaching. Have you ever shown people how to use a computer system in your job? Whack that on your CV. That is training. That is kind of teaching. Okay, so go down that route. I hope that answers your question, Jack. Paul, hello. Hi, Paul in Glasgow. Just started the methodology module of the 168 hour. Well done. Here's to pick up some top tips. Well, hopefully I can give them to you. Hope to teach online. Haven't recently left the airline industry. Wow. Okay. Have a modern languages degree from the 1990s. Would that still be valid in the eyes of potential? Yeah, the degrees will always be valid. There's not a time limit on degrees that employers like. Yeah, for sure. And the modern languages one, and it probably make you stand out a bit more than, you know, someone with, I don't know, let's go with geography again. Well, actually geography, probably if it's, I don't know, something like, I don't know, media studies or something like that. I don't know. So modern languages is one of the better degrees to have. No, that would, potential employers will still see you as someone with a job. I hope that answers your question, Paul. Hello. Leah, hello. Is ESOL in London also? Do you think that would boost your chances of online work? ESOL, for everybody that doesn't know, is English as a second or other language. Basically, that is for people in a English-speaking country, the UK, Ireland, for example, and they're already here, but they need to learn English. Lots of local colleges offer that. London, there is a massive market for ESOL because of the amount of people who live in London who maybe don't have a brilliant level of English. They have some English, but maybe not a brilliant level of English. Would it boost your chances of online work? Right. Well, at the moment, I know a lot of these schools are online. So if you're in London and you can say, look, I can teach some London-based refugees or some London-based immigrants, that kind of thing. Yeah, I think that would help you if you've got that qualification. But online work, as in sort of teaching people that are in Asia, South America, that kind of thing. South America, there's not so many jobs, but teaching in Asia, yes, for sure. Why not? It makes you stand out a bit more. Okay, you got yourself some experience of teaching online. They will love it. Okay, they will love it. It just makes you stand out. There are a lot of people with the 120-hour certificate who, and I'm talking about a lot since COVID started, there's a lot of people that have gone into this, got the 120-hour certificate and kind of think they can just walk into a job. Some people are lucky. And if people have got teaching experience before, for sure. But we want to be realistic. There are a lot of people out there looking for jobs. So yeah, anything that will make you stand out a little bit will definitely help you. Okay, good. Please, everyone, say hello. Keep the questions coming. Love to answer all your questions. Okay, John, hello again. I have a bachelor's and a master's in technology. I can't see it's being relevant. Oh, I'm going to stop you right there. However, I think the TEFL combined with my PGC will be highly beneficial. Yes, for sure, John. You sound like a perfect candidate. There are, look, if you've got that bachelor's and master's in technology, you might be able to go down the route of being an English for specific purposes teacher. That means you could be teaching people who want to know more about the computer industry. Have you got some business terminology that you could teach? Could you teach business English from your degrees, John? The other route you could go down is definitely going to work at a university. You could, for example, I don't know, top of my head, go to Saudi Arabia and you could go and teach English for computing, that kind of thing. So don't ever discount your degrees or your masters, okay? People will love you for having a master's, okay? They would definitely combine with your PGCE. You're a top candidate there, John. I would be very, if I was recruiting like I used to and I saw your CV, I would think, wow, that's a really good candidate there. Right, let's go back up to some more questions at the top. There's someone there, Steve Klimo. Hello. This is one of the questions that came in before. So just in case people want to watch this a bit later, we're going to get these questions going. But anybody else, please just keep going with the questions, the TEFL Org the questions to us. Say hello. Love them. Steve, how hard is it to get online work once newly qualified? Right, Steve, you know, at the moment we do live in crazy times, all right? And things are changing a lot. So for example, if China goes back into lockdown again, all of a sudden all those classes are going to go back online again. There'll be loads of jobs, okay? Perseverance, Steve. Perseverance. Don't just apply for one job. Don't apply for two jobs. Get yourself applying for jobs, but also see if you can get yourself some customers yourself. Go onto Facebook pages, go into Facebook groups, advertise yourself on Gumtree, all this kind of thing. And see if you can get yourself some students of your own. Don't necessarily go down the recruiters route. Lots and lots of videos I've made recently throughout since Easter about this situation. Okay, so Steve, get yourself looking at those. Okay, James, hello. Yes, can we expect to face a welcoming marketplace, or is it sometimes hostile, tad discriminatory against newbies? What exactly is the reality? Right, okay, right. Hello, James. Thank you for your question. Welcoming marketplace, right? You know, James, you got to think about this as if you were recruiting someone. If someone had no experience, no extra modules, you know, no voluntary experience, that kind of thing, and just came straight off the TEFL course, versus someone that has got all this kind of thing, who are you going to employ? I don't think it's discriminatory and I don't think it's hostile. I just think it's business sense, you know, and so I don't think it's discriminatory and all that kind of thing. The reality is, if you put the time in, you get yourself your certification and you do the legwork, you start applying to jobs that suit your profile, that kind of thing, and look on our job center on the TEFL Org website, you'll see the jobs there. There are jobs out there for people, okay? They are, you know, there are jobs out there for people to get, and you just keep working at it and then you will get a job. I have helped people over the last few weeks who have done my weekend course to go online. It's definitely something. There are jobs out there. Okay. Right. Richard, hello. Hi, James. Are you talking to James or me? I don't know. I was wondering about teaching online and how would I go about this with the idea of supplementing an income in my retirement? Two different ways, Richard. You can go down the route of finding the students yourself through setting up your own website, advertising yourself, that kind of thing, or go and work for a company and just work part-time, something like that. Lots of ways to work online to supplement your income. Go back and look at some of the past webinars that will help you. Okay, good. Hoosie, hello. I hope I've said your name right. What's the best software platform to use? Skype, Zoom, others. Also, any suggestions for best one for teaching students based in China? Zoom. I've been teaching a couple of students based in China through Zoom recently. That's been going quite well. I'm not so sure about Skype, how easy that is to get students done in China. I think Zoom is the best way of teaching it. The reason being, it has the tools it has quite easy to use interface with tools such as a whiteboard, such as sharing your screen, that kind of thing. I find it's just really well set up. Students can also use this, they can also access Zoom through China. Okay. That's what I recommend. But I wouldn't go paying for the Zoom paid unless you're going to have lots and lots of students coming in quite soon. I wouldn't go down the paying Zoom money route. Okay. Skype, I don't find it that user friendly. I much prefer Zoom. Okay. I hope that answers your question. Huzi, Muktesh, hello. You recently have got your TEFL certificates, though have been English for the last 18 years in India. So you've been, I don't quite sure. So you've been teaching English for 18 years. I'm not quite sure. My question is, how difficult has it been as a non-native speaker to get a teacher job overseas? Right. Okay. It's possible, Muktesh, for sure. Right. Let me give you an example of when I lived in China, and I had a job where I was lucky enough to tour a bit around China to different places. And I worked at a couple of universities, and they definitely had people who were seen as non-native speakers, and they were very happy to have that kind of thing. Muktesh, the visas are an issue. As long as you fit the visa requirements from going from India to somewhere else, I'm pretty sure you would be okay to get some jobs. Definitely, I know people whose first language is not English who work abroad outside of their own country. Perseverance, good CVs, if you do have a very strong non-English accent, you might want to work a little bit on trying to do accent reduction, Google that kind of thing. I wouldn't go too far with that because it's not a massive thing. But I would maybe go down that route, Muktesh. But I would first of all just start applying for jobs to see where you get with that. Okay, definitely possible. Leah, hello. What allows us to stand out when looking for work online? I think you asked, yes, Leah, I remember your profile picture. So I'll answer your second bit. Do you give a guide to best countries that provide good wages versus living costs? Oh, I don't know if we do. Alan, have we got a blog post on that? That's not one I've been asked before. If you could, Alan, put it in the chat. If not, I'll give you my thoughts. Right. Right, good wages versus living costs is an interesting one. Right, so for example, the countries where I saved and made the most money in my travels around the world were countries where there's lots of oil. Okay, so I made quite a big few quid in Iraq, and I made quite a few quid in Azerbaijan, for example. The other thing, like good wages versus living costs, is a difficult one if you don't want to go and work for in a country that's quite rich with oil. The other problem is that oil price is quite low at the moment, so that's causing issues. Right, depends on living costs. Depends on you. Are you happy to live a little bit like a local person in some countries? Have quite a small flat? Perhaps go without Wi-Fi, that kind of thing. That's how I've known some teachers to live. Quite cheaply. Okay, right. You're never going to be poor as a TEFL teacher if you don't go crazy with your living costs. Are you going to be mega rich as a TEFL teacher? No, the key word in there is teacher. Are teachers mega rich? No. So, for example, my wife, she lived in Mexico for a good chunk of time, and she lived very, very happily off about $400 a month, I think. Okay, is that rich by Western standards, whatever that is? I don't know. So just think you're always going to be okay, but don't get into this job if you're wanting to become a millionaire. Okay, that's what I would say, Leah. I hope that answers your question. Cubes, lovely name. The money question. Well, there's so many money questions, Cubes. What would be a reasonable rate to charge when you're starting out? Right. Depends on you, Cubes, is the key thing. How much are you happy to work for? when you're starting out, work out what your lowest rate would be to get yourself some students, get yourself going, and then slowly ramp it up. I can't really tell from your picture where you are. It looks like a beautiful cathedral or something. Is it Cubes? I don't know. In London, you know, are you going to want to earn less than you could go earn, you know, in a full-time job somewhere on minimum wage? I don't know. If you're in, you know, India, maybe your rate of pay will be lower because you've got more money, less money coming in. Also think about the students that you're trying to get. How much are they willing to pay? Okay, you know, you're not going to get people from sub-Saharan Africa paying you 20-30 pounds a month, or 20-30 pounds an hour, for example. You know, you're probably looking for countries where they're kind of used to paying that much. Japan, Korea, Saudi Arabia, that kind of thing. All right, so it does depend on you. Look on some of the websites such as Italki and see if what kind of rate they're charging at. Maybe pitch yourself at the bottom of that rate. Don't be too greedy when you start. Okay, good. Right, let's scroll down. Are the questions at the bottom? I think there are some coming in. Sammy Simo Jr. Where am I from? I'm originally from just outside London, and now I live in Northern Ireland. Okay, I hope that answers your question. That was a nice, simple one. Thank you. Carla, hello. Good afternoon. I'm Carla, Spanish speaker living in London. Currently on 120 hours TEFL course. I wonder if after completing the course, I'll be able to teach the language, as in teaching Spanish or teaching English. Right. And then you ask a question about Brexit. Oh, really? Are we back to Brexit after COVID? I thought we're still in the middle of COVID. Are we going back to Brexit? Oh my word. Okay, right. Let me have a go. Right. You've got the methodology to teach any language. So you can take what you've learned and go and teach Spanish with it. And there's a big market for teaching Spanish. Okay. The way you teach languages is, you don't think, okay, you teach Japanese this way, Russian that way, Spanish that way, English that way, different ways. No, the methodology is almost the same. Okay. The different, you know, obviously there's different parts of grammar, there's different parts of writing, that kind of thing. But you could take that and you could go and do that. And I think so you could definitely go and teach English. Obviously, you're doing 120-hour teaching English as a foreign language course, but you can also take that into Spanish and go like that. Right. What's going to happen after Brexit? I have no idea, Carla. I'm not someone who voted for Brexit. I'm not someone that approves in the slightest of Brexit. So in an ideal world, that would all go away and we'd be very happy back where we are. But as proven in the vote, I was in the minority. I don't know, Carla. I think, can't you, if you're an EU national here, can't you apply for some sort of leave to stay? Go down that route, okay, and then you can go work, I'm sure. I hope that answers your question. It probably doesn't, Carla. Laylat, hello. Could you please tell me where I can get TEFL certification? You've come to the right place, Lalit or Laylit. Sorry, however you pronounce your name. We offer 120-hour minimum TEFL accredited TEFL courses. I say accredited. Accreditation is important. You've got to make, because there are other companies out there that offer 120-hour courses, but they've got to be accredited. That means they've got to be checked by a body, some sort of educational check-in service that's independent of the company that you're going to give your money to for your course. Check accreditation. Accreditation is key. When I was recruiting teachers, when I lived in Azerbaijan, for example, I hadn't even heard of TEFL Org at that time in terms of working for them. You know, I knew they were out there, but, you know, I didn't even contemplate working for them. So I'm not saying that because I'm now doing this webinar, but I looked for every person that gave me a certificate. I looked at the accreditation. Why? Because anybody can start up and make a 120-hour course. I could spend the next few weeks designing my own TEFL course and I could get you guys to charge for it, but it wouldn't be accredited. And accreditation is key. Don't go giving your money, a 10 quid to someone or something like that for a 120-hour course because it wouldn't be accredited. You get what you pay for. Lalit. Okay. I hope that answers your question. Go with us. We'd love to see you. Alua, hello. You have a nursing degree. Or have you not done much teaching? Lovely. My sister's a nurse. Great profession. I'm not sure how beneficial my degree would be for teaching English. Whoa, let's get involved with that. My ultimate goal is to complete a face-to-face TESOL course later this year and then work in Italy. Is it possible to find a good job abroad as a newly qualified teacher? Yes, Alua, for sure. Right, first of all, nursing degree, you could easily go and become a English for medicine teacher. So that is a branch of English where people teach medical English to people. Definitely something you could get involved in there. Is there a big role for that in Italy? I'm not sure. You'd have to do some research yourself. Okay. Right. Italy is a lovely place. I spend a lot of time examining in Italy. Okay. And I love Italian cities, that kind of thing. Teachers are not overly well paid in Italy. All right, so you've got to be really careful, nail down your contract, make sure that if you're going to go work in Rome, for example, that you're definitely going to get, you're going to get a salary that will cover the living costs to live in Rome. Okay, it is possible. A lot of the places I go to in Italy, and I go and spend a week in the center there to help them out, to examine their students, very often have newly qualified teachers. So it's definitely something that you can do out there. Just make sure you do your research about Italy. Spain, I think you can have a much better lifestyle than you can Italy. My opinion. John, thank you for your comments. Richard, let's put that one up. I know it's not a question, but I love it. Just landed a role in Japan. Thank you. Richard, please tell us more about that role. That sounds amazing. That sounds fantastic. I spent a lovely bit of time in Japan. Some of my best memories as a teacher abroad was in Japan. I lived in Tokyo. I made a few quid. I had a great time. Japanese people are hilariously brilliant and funny and lovely and amazing, and it's just a mad country. The food is the best in the world. Korean food, I don't know, but Japanese food I would still think probably is the best food in the world. So I'm pleased for you, Richard. Please tell us more, and that will get me really, really jealous on a Friday lunchtime. Okay. Carla, what let's have a look at your question. Does answer your question. That's good. You would love teaching English and Spanish. Good. Why not? Why not have a go at both? I need to work on the status in the country because from 1st January, all you'll be illegal immigrants. An angry face. Yeah, of course that's an angry face, Carla, but I'm sure there's ways around it. I'm sure there's legal ways around it at the moment, aren't there? I thought that people can apply for like a leave to remain in the UK at that. All right. So I think, just go down that route, Carla. I think go on the government.uk website. I'm sure there's some pages on there. All right. Okay. About getting people that are already here to stay. Sean, hello. I was wondering if there are any online jobs focusing on music. Ooh, I have a degree in music and experience teaching drums and guitar. You need to help me, Sean, because one of my lockdown purchases is this 15 quid guitar that I'm doing really badly at it. Okay. Right. So do you want to teach English for music? Is that what you're kind of looking for? Sean, I'm not quite sure. Do you want to just go teach how someone has to play drums or guitar? I don't know of any jobs teaching English for music. It's not something that I've ever come. I'm looking out the window to see if I can think of it. It's not something I've ever come across beyond a few people in Japan who are sort of a bit geeky and wanting to know more about culture, British music culture and American music culture. So it's not something I know about. Actually teaching someone how to play the drums online, I don't know. Sorry, Sean, it's not something that I have. It is beyond my scope of experience. There we go. Yeah, John, exactly. You do have a student. Sign me up. I'll teach you some English, Sean. You can teach me some guitar. Leia, where's the best place to work in Japan? Does anyone know how hard it is to get a job there as a newly qualified TEFL student? Right. Okay. Right. The biggest job market is in Tokyo. That's where most people go and live and work in Tokyo. And I'm sure that there are some jobs available on our website. which have the word Japan in. I'm sure there are. And if not, look on other websites, esolcafe.com or TEFL.com. But definitely, I'm sure there must be some advertised. Right, Japan at the moment is, they're sort of in and out of little lockdowns and that kind of thing. Applying for jobs right now in Japan might be a bit difficult to start soon. But what you might want to do is start applying for jobs in Japan now to start in maybe January, that kind of thing. All right. Tokyo is amazing. Tokyo is fantastic. It's a huge, bustling, crazy, cultural. I just can't say any more amazing positive adjectives about my time in Tokyo. I absolutely loved it. But Japan is so much more than Tokyo. Okay, you've got Nagoya in the south is a great city. Osaka is a fantastic city. Kyoto is probably my favorite place in the world to go as a tourist. You've got Hokkaido in the north. Look around. You're going to be under competition for jobs in Tokyo because everyone thinks, well, I want to go live in Tokyo. If you're willing to be a little bit more open in the cities, this goes for any country, really. For example, if you want to go work in Spain, most people want to go work in Barcelona. Are you open to go work in Valencia or Madrid or Malaga, something like that? All right. Just see if you can go down that route. Don't always go for the big cities. All right. If you want to go work in the UK, everybody wants to go work in London, that kind of thing. There are jobs in Manchester, there are jobs in Glasgow, that kind of thing. Look at that. There's a link there to some jobs in Japan. Go for it. Leigh, you're open to anywhere. Belfast? Always need people in Belfast. Right. Where were we? Jacob, hello. I have a TEFL qualification, have a bit of teaching experience, but not a lot. Would you recommend getting a CELTA as well? No, Jacob, not straight away. I wouldn't. Now, if you're gonna do this if you've been teaching for a couple of years and you think, do you know what, I love this, I think this is going to be my career, then probably you're going to have to go down the CELTA route at some point. Not necessarily because once you got experience coming in, then that would people take that in lieu of a CELTA. But definitely take that qualification you've got now, see if you can get some jobs online or see if you can travel the world a bit with it, and then maybe in 5 years do a CELTA, something like that. Don't go and spend $2,000 doing a CELTA on top of everything else in case you don't like it. Yeah, get yourself some jobs like that and just go down that route. Okay, don't pay for a CELTA until you've been doing it for a couple of years and you think it's a good idea to keep going. All right. ESL jobs for music would be good. I just don't know of any, Sean. I'm really sorry. If anybody else does, please let us know. Right. Lily, hello. Just a couple more questions and I think it might be time up. What's the best way to use your TEFL qualification in the UK? It has kind of been asked, but I'm happy to answer again. Best way to use it to make money, to be paid, right? The best way to do it is to go and try and get some ESOL jobs. So Google ESOL jobs. Okay, that's for people who are in the UK whose English might need some help. That's the kind of thing you could do. There are charities that offer this. There are local further education colleges, so like your local tech, your local college, not university, college, that will offer these kind of things. See if you can get a job that way, Lily. Okay, good. Okay, Muktesh, I answered your question. I'm going to scroll back up, but didn't you ask the question earlier, Muktesh? I'm pretty sure. Muktesh, I answered your question about teaching online, teaching overseas, but not quality, probably about 10, 15 minutes ago. Okay. There we go. CELTA, Mark, what is a CELTA? I'm not sure it's worth sort of looking at that really until you've been doing that. Basically, it's just it's a TEFL qualification, but costs a lot more money and takes a lot more time. And I would first of all go down the route of getting your 120-hour certificate or your 168-hour, whatever it might be, and then see if you like it. You can get jobs through that. You do not need a CELTA to find work. You do not need a CELTA. Sam, about the TEFL work online, rewind this about 10-15 minutes. You will find I went through lots of that. There's loads of webinars about that. Right, finish your course, just get applying. That's the best thing, Sam. Just boost your CV with any sort of extra modules, that kind of thing. Try and get some experience teaching some people. Go down that route. Best course on your website. Well, Joshua, hello. The best course on the website to become fully qualified is probably the advanced one. Okay. If that's, because obviously if you the higher the level qualification, the more likely you are to get jobs. But the 120-hour one is also sufficient to become fully qualified. You can just go do the 120-hour course and then you're a qualified TEFL teacher. Okay, good. And should we just finish on Lorna's lovely message? Hello, Lorna. Hello, just passed the TEFL Org 168-hour course. Yay. I drink some water to you, Lorna. It's something difficult. It's not, you've got to put the time in. You've got to learn, these kind of things. Just go for that. Lorna, congratulations. Well done, everyone. And I love that last question. Sorry, Alan. Jennifer, hello. Would you recommend finding a job before or after traveling abroad? I found some require you to already live in the country when applying. Yes, they do, Jennifer. Some do want that. Why? Because they don't want to put the time into recruiting you and then you decide actually you don't want to go. Yeah, so that's why they want to do it. Okay. Right. So, depends where you want to go in the world, Jennifer. If you've got a couple of grand in your pocket that you can use for an emergencies, you could fly yourself over to Spain or to Italy, somewhere in the EU if you've got an EU passport. Spend a bit of time walking around some schools, putting your CV in. You could be up and working within days. Yeah. If you're looking to go to Asia, somewhere like that, you're probably better to apply beforehand and to get yourself a job offer, get yourself a contract, get some help with the visa before you go. Just because they don't want you to, just because it's quite an expensive place to go to Tokyo, for example, and just walk around and then not get yourself a job. Okay, so some people do that, but I think if you're happy to sort of go to Europe, something like that, get yourself a Ryanair flight, get yourself to somewhere, Madrid, somewhere like that, walk around. It hasn't cost you a huge amount of money. Get yourself out there. You've got yourself a nice little trip for a week, something like that. You'll find work just from going door to door. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Alan. Leah, no problem. Susie, good. Thank you, everyone. I've really enjoyed today. That was some fantastic questions coming in. Please let us know if you've got any more questions. Did I answer them all, Alan? I think I did. Oh, no. Sorry. One question that came in before Sinead. You've completed the 120-hour course, a full-time job, and like to use that qualification as a sideline to keep my hand in. Right. Someone who wants to do it as a sideline, I would start to get yourself some online. I would set yourself up as an online teacher yourself. You've got your main job here, and then you've got your supplementary income coming in. Look back at some of the past webinars about that. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Enjoy yourselves. Have a nice weekend. Bye.